Jose, we're up.
And there we go. We are live. Happy Halloween, everybody. What's up? And welcome to another R.O.C. Hangout. We come to you live each and every single week, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on the Realm of Collectors YouTube channel. You could also subscribe to an audio version of this podcast on iTunes and Google Play through your favorite podcast app, as well as through our website, realmofcollectors.com. Real quick, guys, some plugs for the website. We do have some merchandise available for you. R.O.C. shot glasses are available to purchase. You'll get a pair of those for $13 shipped anywhere in the continental U.S. We have the very limited quantities left of Energon Addict's very own Friends and Family t-shirt. And pre-orders are live for the R.O.C. hoodie for the winter time. You could have a choice of a zip-up or a pullover. Get those pre-orders in. Could be prepared for the winter. It's very cold. We're going to need those hoodies. So get your orders in while you can. I think those pre-orders are going to be open just for the next couple of weeks, guys. Get your orders in while you can. Everybody that's watching us on YouTube, what's up? Please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Absolutely free. Doesn't cost you a thing. And if you're watching us on YouTube, hop into the live chat below. Chop it up with the rest of the ROC fam. We're going to shout everybody out at the end of the live stream.
Shout out to dogs.
Let's say what's up. Oh, there we go. It's Halloween, guys.
It wasn't me.
It's all good. It's all good. Happy Halloween. Let's run down the line. Say what's up to everybody. So first up, the analyzer, Brian Brink. How you doing tonight? Hello. I love what you got going on there, brother. What's happening tonight?
What's happening? No, I just handed out a bunch of candy, and I still have some for myself. I got some Smarties left over. I'm very excited.
Ooh,
I love me some
yes.
Smarties.
Shout out to Smarties.
Word up.
Smarties.
How's the traffic been around your way? Getting a lot of kids coming for candy?
Well, I had like 25.
Oh,
and
hey.
11 showed up out of nowhere.
All right, sweet. I usually don't get much traffic in these parts, so always interesting to see how everybody else is faring. All right, next up, Energon Addict, trick or treat.
Do you guys understand Wookiee or what?
He said, "Fuck no."
I had no idea.
How'd you know, JD? You heard it. You knew exactly
I know that
what I
shit.
He speaks
What's up,
Wookiee.
boys? Happy Halloween.
Happy
Halloween. I can't leave that thing on too long, man. That shit's bugging. That shit's crazy. Yep.
That thing actually fit your head?
Hey, Brian, fuck you, motherfucker.
Big Nick in the house. Nick, that's right. You're Nick after this weekend. What's going on, man?
Actually, I put this on for Brian. I'm Optimus Prime tonight. Sorry.
I'm loving
one
it.
shall stand, one shall sit.
That was good, Brian. That was good.
Superpowers activated.
How much you pay for that, Brian? How much you pay for that?
Transform and sit down.
Oh,
Are we all,
right.
are we done? Are we done? Is that my hello? Okay.
Yeah,
Bye.
Yeah, that's your hello. I'm gonna run everybody back down for their holes. I just want to say hello. All right, next up, extra spooky in the house. How you doing?
I'm not actually wearing that thing was too fucking hot. I had to wear it all weekend. I've taken it to 2 cons so far. So, but yeah, life is good. I didn't have any trick-or-treaters. I just went to the gym. So I was handing out gains. No, that fell flat. Let's not go there.
I got you.
You're getting a jump on that fucking ROC weight loss challenge, man.
Well, yeah, just trying to get back into the habits, and if everybody else is giving it their all, that's where I want to be. I want to stay motivated, and we'll get to that topic when we get there. But yeah, it's good to be back and doing a clean diet again, and doing my 6-day routine.
Awesome. All right, next up, G Money.
What's happening? It is really good to be here with you guys tonight. So we've our Halloween here has been pretty quiet. I think we've had 5 or 6 groups come to the door, and I think we're about done. So it wasn't too eventful. I guess that's not such a bad thing sometimes.
All right. No, sweet. All right, next up, JD. How you doing tonight, bro?
Hi, guys. I can't breathe.
Ooh, I see Darth JD tonight.
Darth Brodius.
Yeah, it's just my collector's case. But yeah.
How?
Nothing really going on here. I just got home a little bit ago, so.
Didn't hand out any candy tonight?
No, sir. I was at work and then. No, for me to eat.
Screw 'em.
Fuck these little kids, right? Man. That's my candy.
So you're like the opposite.
Right.
Man.
Oh shit! All right, next up, Determinator Tim K. How are you?
What is up, everybody? Happy Halloween! Oh, I can't breathe in this thing. Man, I know. Yeah, it's all good. Normal day over here. We only had 2 groups, but we canceled them pretty much. Happy to be here. Happy Halloween. Have a great one.
All right. All right, sweet. Let's run back down the line real quick and just find out what everybody got for the week. So first up, Brian, you want to share?
Yo. Ouch, man. Ouch.
Oh, we thought you were dead.
Oh, Darius, did I miss you? Oh, Agent H, your costume worked too well. I'm sorry.
I mean, it clearly says undead. I mean,
Bad.
Might as well just go to the next. Just go to the next topic now. Fuck, shit.
All right, we got Undead House tonight. How you doing?
I'm good, thanks. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween, man.
Hello.
All right, let's do some what you get. Brian, Brink?
I got a
anything?
bunch of Batman animated figures. Too many to count or enumerate. I don't remember what it is, but all I know is I'm almost done. I'm almost done. Close out this rabbit hole this year. Started this year and then this year.
Climbing out. You're climbing out, brother. Climbing out.
Yeah, it kind of looks like you have a Batman mask on.
It does.
Yeah.
I'm out
The
for
lighting?
justice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for real.
swear.
Should go get my hockey pads.
You gotta give me at least one for justice.
For justice.
Where is she? Swear to me. Is that the hero the city needs? Zeros
I have to say I like the Ben Affleck voice a lot better.
Yeah.
Whatever they're doing to change that voice, it sounds a lot better. All right, Energon Addict. Any new pickups this week? Please share.
Yeah, I got a few things. I gotta say, probably my favorite thing is like the silliest thing I got all week. You guys know I had some company this weekend. So Mr. Gary Allen decided to bring me a Snoke. and
Nice.
the way he tells me is he's like, hey Dave, I know you wanted the GameStop exclusive Snoke, so I picked it up for you. I'm like, oh shit. The first thing I thought of was Dom because I know Dom was looking for it. So I'm like, oh no, Dom needs it too. Like I'm worried, like, I was gonna give it to him if anything, but then he pulls this thing out, and I'm like, "What is this?"
It's cracked out Stewie.
This is like, yeah, like Dewey got beat up bad, but
Exactly.
the more I play with it, the more I like this little guy.
Stewie didn't pay his bookie. I tell you that right now.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, man.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. That's awesome. I love shit like that. So cool.
Yeah.
All right, Dom. Anything?
I picked up the Super NES Classic.
Jerk.
Nice.
Ooh. How much you flipping that for?
Ooh. All
Are
of
you gonna hack it?
Dave's collection. No, this is for me. This is for me. I was only get one. I was lucky. I walked into a Walmart in the morning and they had a case, and that was the last one because I saw like 3 other people walking out with theirs. So I was like, oh my god, they might have one. And I walked up, and then that was their last one. And then I also was able to pick up those Marvel's Legends throwback cards.
Nice.
They're going to be hitting your Walmarts pretty soon.
So do you go to Walmart every morning?
Yeah.
Oh.
There's a Walmart literally outside my door.
Nice.
So
Nice.
Wow.
that's the Walmart I hit every morning before I go to work.
Dom, are you sleeping in the parking lot?
What?
Are you sleeping in the Walmart parking lot? Is that why there's one right outside your door every day?
No, it's a 24-hour. It's a 24-hour Walmart. So
Yeah. You're in the third refrigerator box to the left.
yes.
It's like that movie with Natalie Portman.
I'm sleeping.
He sleeps in the bathroom every night.
Yeah, I'm sleeping by the produce.
Where Chuck
Damn.
Mangione lives down to 4 blocks down.
Yes.
And my baby's name is America.
I always like to say, like, you can roll out of bed and be right in the Walmart aisle.
Yeah,
It's pretty
much. But that is all I got.
All right, sweet. Extra 0.
All right, so I got my very first non-Mario Figuarts figure. Yeah. Get rid of Storm Collector.
I remember you. I
was
remember you
debating.
saying you were thinking about switching up. Yeah.
I was debating. I'm glad I did. I also bought this while I was drunk. Brian,
Shout out to Drunk Perch.
Is that Flame or is that Cowless?
That's Calidus. After
that's
the
a
reviews,
good
after like Ben Collectibles review where he like was stressing out the plastic and he was like, I think this feels a lot like the plastic they used in Ollie. I was like, fuck that, no, And then last but not least, I got these 2 gems. I'm enjoying both of them.
Sweet.
Nice.
So
Nice.
good week.
Wait, what was that? You got gem dolls?
Yeah, she's totally outrated. And I got Mario Odyssey and Wolfenstein 2, which is actually Wolfenstein 3, considering the fact that the 2009 one is canon.
Yeah.
You know what? That's definitely like a topic I definitely want us to circle back around. Not tonight, but maybe next week. It is the season for all these new game releases coming out, so I definitely want to hear from the rest of you guys. Yeah, is it Broketober? And I want to hear like from everybody like what they're playing. You know what I'm saying? If you guys play games, let me know what you're playing, and that goes for everybody else in the chat too. So, was that it? You get anything else?
That's it for me. I've got like a couple things that are stuck in the mail. You'll actually see one of my things tomorrow if you watch Mr. Skullface's channel. So,
Sweet.
A little,
nice. Little preview. Little
to
preview
Bobby
right there.
Or he's already posted his preview, so if you've seen it, you know what it is.
Nice. All right. Next up, G Money.
Hey, yes, but I got a couple things, but there's the one thing I'm most excited about is this, as we say, the rabbit holes all the time. I got my Iron Man, my Hot Toys Mark 46, the Civil War version is one I decided after a lot of research to go with. So it just came yesterday. I've had 2 super full work days and kind of really no time to open it up and mess with it yet. So it's kind of on my agenda to do tomorrow. But I'm kind of getting into that collection pretty hard already. I'm pretty excited. I got the Punisher, came in last week, the Netflix version, and I've got the Civil War Captain and Scarlet Witch. So they're pretty awesome. I gotta tell you, I'm liking them quite a bit. So.
That's nice, man. So like Brian just mentioned, he's climbing out of that Batman the Animated Series rabbit hole, but you only see yourself getting deeper in this Hot Toys thing.
I've told myself, I'm going to try. We always say this, right? Collecting, but just try and be very selective. I'm trying to pick, one version of the character from the movie, that I like the most and that has a good human kind of portrait representation. I think that's how I'm going to pose them. So I kind of like that battle scene from Civil War. So yeah, so I'm going to try. We'll see. See how it goes.
Actually put out quite a bit of his quite a bit of different armors of Iron Man and stuff like that. So, just be careful, man. Be careful. It's deep. That rabbit hole is deep.
Exactly. It's pricey too, that's for sure. So that's one nice thing is it absolutely is one of those lines I think that really will force me to be very selective and not make as you did, James, a drunk purchase or a whimsical purchase out of boredom.
Part of that was Brian going like, "I'm going to buy these." What was Callus Asterix? And I was sitting there drunk. Fuck, I'm going to buy a Callus too.
Oh man, realm of enablers, as we see. Was that it?
That's it. Yeah, that's my favorite one, I think, for the week. So I'll leave it at that.
That's sweet, man. Awesome. All right, Agent H. Any new pickups this week?
Yep, I got Fans Toys Coot. Shout out to Jason Lowy for that hookup.
Jason, what's up? Coot.
Jake Figure Arts Chung Lee, the Street Fighter 5 Chung Lee. Tyler hooked me up with that one.
Ain't she Diesel, bro? She's Diesel, right?
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
Yeah, she's nice. I like it. I like it.
Leg day.
She never skipped a leg. You don't skip leg days. I picked up also, which I haven't started playing it yet. The WWE 2K18. So far, it's so much fun. And also, last but not least, I picked up Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
Nice. What platform are you playing those games on? PS4?
PS4 for the wrestling and Marvel vs. Capcom Xbox One.
Hit you up. I might have you on my list already, but just in case I don't, we'll get up and make sure we got our gamer tags straight.
No problem.
So we could play some WWE.
Sounds good, man.
All right, JD, what's up, man? Any new pickups? You got a fucking Baldwin drop for me? What's up? What you got?
Oh no, I didn't get much. I got the remix, the birds. I got that 2-pack. Foot upgrades for Metroplex and Fort Max. And
nice.
Oh, they're gonna tilt the ankle now.
Oh yeah. Ankle tilt.
Fix those fucking hips. I got some Iron Factory stuff. The Bruticus 2-pack, the first one that's come out so far. The rest of the DX9 Dinobots, and then their Soundwave.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got Hot Flame and the Agatron. They're reformatted.
Oh yes, that's a beautiful piece. And so you're in like on the Legends line as far as like Iron Factory and DX9, the stuff that they put out.
Ton of them. Yeah.
They're fun figures, man.
They're fun. Yeah.
Yep. Nice. Yeah, I had a couple and I sold them, and then I picked up that Shadow Tengu from Chris, the 6-shot, and then now that they revealed the DJD and it combines into a Tarn, I'm like, fuck, like now I kind of want to rabbit holes, I want to fucking go in on that line now, and I'm like, man, let me just chill out and see
well, the nice thing is it's not fucking crazy expensive though either.
Yeah, well, that's
DX9.
That's a pretty cool concept. When I saw those Legends scale DJD that combines into a humongous Tarn, that's something new.
Yeah, pretty cool. And I don't think for those figures coming out at that scale, I don't think any of the characters, the look of them has been sacrificed. They all look like the way they're supposed to look, and and they figured out the way to make them combine. I'm like, that's incredible. That's pretty cool.
Absolutely.
Do they still have alt modes though? Like, do they still turn into whatever they're supposed to turn into? besides a robot?
See that? Yeah, well, I think they do. I think we've seen like a couple of them. I don't know if we've seen all their alt mode.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'll find a picture.
Okay. All right, cool.
But
see,
yeah,
so that's figured that out. So they, you know, robot mode, alt mode, and figured out a way to make them all combine to, you know, make them look like a bigger Tarn. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Man, Iron Factory, like their shit. Like not everybody might be into it. I think those figures work well, like with the combiners and the city bots. You know, it's nice to have that smaller scale of a figure, so it kind of looks, you know, to scale when you put them up with combiners and those city bots. I think it looks really cool.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
that's true.
All right, Tim K, any new pickups, brother?
Not really new. I got my Generation Toy OPEX back last week with a fixed abdominal plate, so the transformation works now.
Nice.
Yeah, 2 small faults I got with this. On the other hand, a little chip on the head and some paint issues on the waist piece, so I will get that replaced. I almost pulled the trigger on Wolfenstein 2, but I didn't. But I'm still not completely over it. I got me 2 new floodlights, construction floodlights actually. I tried that out for my photography, 10 watts power. I wrote this on my blog also when I tried to check out several versions of lighting, so I can really recommend it. James already saw a few new photographs of mine. They really stepped up my game, I would say.
Stuff.
You'll see it soon.
Nice.
And otherwise, I'm actually trying to run away from the Hulkbuster. I'm seeing ads left and right from German sellers who have this piece in 1-6 for a serious price. So far, so successful. I don't know how it's going further.
You know, you got to take a breath, count to 10, count to 20, count to fucking 60 if you have to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, you know, make good decisions. Make good decisions.
Yeah, especially since I canceled 2 pre-orders already, so I have this money now to buy me the fitting Generation Toy IDW Megatron. So blasting that out for Hulkbuster would be.
Yeah, dude, that piece looks good. I saw basically a review on YouTube of that, and judging by the pics initially, I was like, I could skip it, but then seeing it, a video on it, I was like, man, that figure looks good, and I think I'm fucking in.
Yeah, it looks fucking great. I think it looked absolutely bomb next to OPEX. There will be some great photos, but that's so far from me, guys.
All right, sweet, man. All right, I think that's everybody. For myself,
what'd you get?
I got a couple of small things. Nothing too big, guys. Nothing too big. I did pick up a Titans Return Metal Hawk from eBay. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, I want it. I don't want to pay too much for it, and I actually paid a pretty decent price with shipping. And the seller was actually in Brooklyn, so it came the next day. Can't complain. Happy. And then from
I'm waiting to see if Takara does that in a single release.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, Brian, I was too, but you know, usually I would have figured we'd hear about it by now, and then we're about to get into Power of the Prime. So I'm just like, you know what? Let me just grab this before it becomes even more.
It may
expensive.
fall down into the line of the Legends at some point later down to the next year. So because normally those types of them just probably just fall into the Takara's Legends. So we'll see.
Oh, right. Yeah. And most likely we'll see that. But, you know, instant gratification, you know, we're fucking impatient. We want shit now. So I picked it up.
See, I'm glad I got both those boxes.
Oh, were you able to get them before they sold out?
Oh, yeah. I had the see, I never got Ginrai, so I pre-ordered it for fucking Ginrai. And, you know, the Chaos on Velocitron set's been really plentiful at my local Toys R Us. So I've got both.
Nice.
Yeah, it was only that Siege on Cybertron set I never saw because supposedly it was an online exclusive.
Yeah,
the other box set I saw at Toys R Us, but I didn't really need it. You know, I had no interest, especially for that price. And then out of the other one, all I wanted was the Metal Hawk, and I just didn't want to pay like the $100. Even though, in hindsight, should have just got it because I could have parted it out and made more than the money.
Absolutely.
Back, but, you know, Live and learn. Live and learn. And then also from Nicholas on the panel, I got a Make Toys Cross Dimension Rider Despotron, and I fucking love it. I wish I would have got it a year ago. And basically, that just seals the deal for me. I'm all in on that line. I ordered a Striker Noir from Agavis.com, and whatever else they put out from that line, I'm just gonna get when it comes out. So
it could pull me in on that Galvatron when they really do a Thunder whatever Galvatron. That render from TFCon looked too sweet.
Yep.
For someone that likes to pose their figures, man, you would have a field day with those.
Yes, you would.
Yes, sir. And that's what I love about it. Those cross dimension figures are like fig arts for Transformers. I think it's been said plenty of times before. Very fun.
Stop!
Very
Stop!
fun.
No.
Tim, that's another rabbit hole.
Yeah, shit.
One of us.
Fucking enablers. Fucking enablers.
Let's get into
just buy it, Tim. Just buy one, Tim. All you need is one.
What? Yeah, sure, man. What does
be like Brian? Get the one Optimus Prime. You're good.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, Tim, you already know though. Once you get that one, you're just in for. Trust me.
Probably.
Yeah. All right. Some of the topics we got going on for tonight, guys. So I'm going to pass the mic to Gary. I think he got a few more details for us on the R.O.C. weight loss challenge.
I sure do. Listen, thank you for the few minutes to kind of share a couple updates.
Half an hour. Go ahead.
All right. Hurry up. Yeah. So I posted in the Wellness Weight Loss Challenge group earlier this week, kind of what the rules will look like. I'll bump that post so it kind of goes back to the top. I did just want to clarify. I think when I wrote it, I was talking about scales with decimal points to like a 0.000 to the thousandths. Don't worry about that. What I was just trying to do was eliminate the tiebreaker that happened last year. So we'll have one true winner kind of in the winner take all portion. So when I calculate with the formula that's in the rules for the actual body percent lost over the full time frame, we'll calculate it to a greater decimal point. Just again, try and make sure we have one determined winner.
I don't know, Gary. If there's a tie, maybe there should be an extra physical challenge. Brian,
that's actually a great idea. To see what that looks like, maybe we don't have to think about that. Right? Do a little extra 5%. Right. Yeah. No, it won't be about gaining it back. Right?
One has to do one-on-one shipping, like he has to walk over to the guy who receives it.
or if it's a tie, it should be a wing eating contest videotaped. See how many wings you can eat in 5 minutes.
That could be the official cheat meal.
Did we get Dust's attention? I know he's in the chat.
Actually, Dust has been posting some good shopping trips and some good clean meal preps that he's done.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But if that gets him to the wing challenge, I mean, Dust, chime in here, man.
But yeah, so we'll kind of keep the updates there. We've got about a month, but you don't have to wait till the 1st. The next week or so, I'll get the details for the registration and where we're going to do that for the email and the $20 registration fee. But the biggest thing I just wanted to share is look, the Roma Collectors, on the website, we've got a blog portion now. And I really want to thank Paul for kind of putting that together, but also Jason Lowry reached out. We'll probably be posting some other recipe items there for the, just so people can look at. James has posted some things for himself. Todd is self-promoting healthy choices for his brand of choice. No more plugs for him there in his company. But I do really like the participation that I think we're seeing. So I just encourage everybody to keep it up. Daryl posts when he goes to the gym, that he's taking his family with him. I think that's really cool. I like what James mentioned earlier about he's happy to get some routines back for himself and what his goals look like. And I'll just say it one more time. It's the weight loss is keeping score, but at the end of the day, it's just making sure that we're well-rounded individuals. We love the collecting world, but we take care of ourselves. So that we're there for our families and the people that rely on us, outside of this hobby.
Yeah.
So, but look, I think we're off to a great start. I think the key is just going to be like anything else, maintaining a momentum. But that's what my job here is to do. So that's what I'm going to focus on.
All right, sweet. And guys, yeah, don't get discouraged either. Like, I know the contest doesn't start for another few weeks, and I think everybody kind of wants to get their starting numbers high. So it could be like, hey, the more you lose, but honestly, the end goal is just everybody's health and well-being. You know what I'm saying? So if you get the opportunities, start now. And like Gary said, shout out to everybody else that's kind of supporting the project and posting their stories in that weight loss group. So once again, if anybody wants to join, join the group, even if you're not going to be part of the challenge, and give your support to the rest of the participants.
Yeah, look, I think it's just another really great way to show that this community, we do a lot more than just focus on the plastic crack, right? And the toys. We support each other. We did the toy drive that Chris put together from the Monday night crew. Just the social interactions that we do around some of these events and putting together the other things that aren't always related to, a show or a convention. So I think, again, it's just one more way to reach out and connect with more people around some other interests that we might have. So, look, I think ToyCon and NJ, we might try and do a gym session there. I don't know. Let's see if we can put that together.
I'm down. I'm ready to lift, bro. I'm ready to lift.
Right, but the gyms are already filled with toys. So
yeah, I think we're gonna get enough exercise walking through the con like 4 or 5 times. I mean,
and walking.
We should have a count.
Walking to eat wings.
Right.
We should have a count. We have to walk around the whole time. It was like a whole fucking con.
We gotta go see Ragnarok that day too.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be fun. I can't wait.
That'd be great.
All right, sweet,
Awesome.
sweet,
Thanks,
Gary. Yeah, no problem. And quick shout out to Dulcar in the chat. Basically based just off what we were just saying. He said family should care about the health of one another. So it's awesome that we all care about each other in that way. That's something that no other groups I know of can say. So thank you for your words, brother. We really appreciate that. That's awesome.
Yeah, looking out for each other. Shout out to last night, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Anytime.
All right. Guys, look forward to next week because Gary's going to drop some more details on the upcoming R.O.C. Loss Challenge. So keep tuning in to the R.O.C. Hangout in the upcoming weeks for more details. And as always, like we said, the group's on Facebook, so feel free to join and get in on all the fun, guys. Get in on it. All right. You know what? Energon Addict, I'm going to pass the mic to you. You did a great thing this weekend. You hosted some of the Rock fam at your haunted mansion over the weekend. We had a nice little Halloween party, a nice little get-together. The wives got to meet each other. So I think some of us on the panel, we were there. We all got some stories to share. So what you did? What's going on?
all right. So this all came about probably about 3 weeks to a month ago. I think I was talking to Gary, and he had said, "Oh, when's the next time we're going to see each other?" And I was thinking about it, and we have ToyCon coming up. But I was like, it'd be nice if I got, everybody out with their wives to meet each other's significant other or whatever the case may be. So that way they could kind of understand why their husbands are like always gone with these other men and, fucking disappearing for fucking weekends on end. And, yeah. I know for some people, especially people that, haven't been in as long as a year or so, and they just jump in, a few weeks out, like Eric, for example, EE Prime, he came, I invited him because he's local. I try to keep it as local as I can because I understand most of you guys have to drive from, long distance. So forgive me for anybody that didn't get an invitation. I will be putting out another party sometime next year, and you'll get an invitation. And hopefully, I'll do it with more time so you can plan the weekend right. So I kept it, local with, guys from Jersey. Well, Gary, you came from Delaware, probably the farthest. But again, I kind of ran that through him first, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm down." So after that, I kind of like trickle down effect. I started asking everybody else. So. Dom came with you know, his lovely wife. Gary came with his lovely wife. Jose came with his girlfriend, who's also great. I mean, I only have nice things to say, to be quite honest, about all of them that came. Eric came, Riddler Circle came, and it was just like a hangout, but in my fucking house. You know what I mean? Like, and
Yep.
it was cool because you're surprised about how much these women know about what we do. Like, I didn't know it until they were together, and like you had like Dom's wife, for example. She knows as much as he does. Like, you know, like she knows about all the domonomics and everything. She's knows about the return receipts and, you know, legends, and she knows about Black Series, and
She was mentioning them on the car ride to your crib, and I was like, "Holy shit!"
and it was awesome. I mean, you know, my wife, I gotta shout her out because she helped me, you know, set up the party. Basically, just so you guys know, it was just basically me. You know, I made some Energon juice for everybody. I catered some food.
It's delicious.
You know, I made some appetizers, and I basically just cleaned my house and got it ready for everybody to come. You know, it's just like a big hangout. But the turnout was fucking awesome. Like I said, I could not predict the way the women were gonna interact with one another, and it flowed. It was like, you know, if you've ever been to a wedding, or if you've ever got married yourself and they tell you, hey, the time flies, it goes quick. Literally, I think the party was about 6 or 7 hours, and it felt like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it was just that fast that people walked in my door and walked out, and I was just like, "Don't go. Where you going? You know, don't leave." But again, people had been drinking since like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I think I made 2 jugs of that Energon juice. People were drinking wine. We had Jello shots.
I forgot about those.
And I had so much food here. I mean, like, I don't know. I guess I thought you guys would be hungrier, but I still have food in the fridge. I might have to get rid of that today, but good times, man. Really good times. I'm really glad everybody came through, and I want to hear what you guys thought about it, you know, because ultimately you were my guest, so hopefully you had a good time.
You should have handed out that food tonight. Little doggy bags.
The way some of these kids were grabbing candy out of my bucket, I should have did that, man. So here, take a tray of chicken franchise home. here's some eggplant rollatini. Come here, you know. But it's good times.
Yeah. Oh well, dude. Personally, for me, you know, I've thanked you personally. I thanked you that night, but I'm gonna thank you here publicly. You know, for everybody. That night to me was incredible. Just first and foremost for you and Lauren for hosting everybody. You putting it together. You know what I'm saying? And inviting everybody from the Rock fam, like, you know, anybody that you could, like you said. You know, you try to make it convenient for everybody. You know, hosting us, having all that food, having all the little appetizers, the fucking 2 jugs of Energon juice that had us the whole night. Just incredible, and I think it just speaks to what we do here. And, you know, like I said, we're all like fam, and that's what it feels like, and that's what it felt like that night. And it was awesome, just the fact, because you know, most of our significant others were able to be involved. I think sometimes that's the missing link. I think, you know, anybody that's in a relationship maybe sometimes goes through that hardship, you know, based off your collection. They might not understand it or whatever. And I thought it was kind of pretty cool that, you know, we all got together, we hung out, and all of our significant others connected in that way, like the way we all connect with our common interests in this hobby. And it was a great night. That's all I could really say. Like, you know, just from my perspective, I knew I was going to have a great night. Jasenia was a little bit nervous because, again, we kind of keep to ourselves. We're not the greatest social butterflies. We do hang out and have friends and whatnot, but the circle's pretty small, so to speak. So she was just a little bit nervous about getting to meet everybody else that was going to be there. She's met some people, but not everybody. And I just told her from the get-go, like, look, honey, you know, you don't have to worry about anything. You know, you're going to have a good time. And when we got there, you know, shout out to Dom. You know, him and his wife, they picked us up. We took the ride over there. Great conversation on the way there. We got to Dave's, and everybody started showing up. And like Dave said, 5-6 hour event felt like it passed by in an hour and a half. Blink of an eye. And speaking for myself and speaking for Jasenia, we can't wait for the next get together. And we had a great time that night. So thank you, brother.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Good times.
No doubt.
It's funny that you say that, Jose. So, you know, I kind of messed up. I thought it was going to be like a 4-hour drive for us, and kind of realized I was a little bit short. It's supposed to be maybe 4.5, and then there's a couple accidents and stuff. So it took us quite a bit. So my wife was a little tired. She doesn't really like long road trips. But it was awesome. I'm not kidding. Within 10 minutes of being welcomed into today's house, my wife is holding his daughter. I'm like holding his dog, like petting him. It was just such a welcome, you know, really just cool environment. And, you know, it was just a little bit surreal because my wife was adamant. She's like, you guys aren't going to go sit and separate yourselves and talk about toys. So at one point, yeah, right. The women were kind of on one area, and then she was outside, and I look over, and I'm like, this is surreal. She's talking to EE Prime and Dominic outside at the table. I'm like, what the hell are they talking about out there? But no, it was very welcoming. It went great. We ended up staying in a hotel that night just because of the drive. And I think what was cool was she knew I had a great time, but she really enjoyed it. I think she had some great connections there. When we got back to our room, she, you know, was just like, oh, I got to talk to Jose and Jasenia and, you know, this and learn about that. And to your point, she was like, so when are we going to have people at our house? I'm like, okay, well, let's
that's when you know it went good, man. That's when you know.
Exactly. You know, and I heard her kind of like selling it to people there. She's like, listen, we live, you know, real close to Ocean City. We're just a few miles away from the beach. So, you know, after this winter, you know, in the spring when it starts getting warmer before it's too crowded, we can do this, we can do that. So it was pretty neat. Just again, coming back to the fact that, you know, doing that connection between people in the community was just a great day. I almost felt that little kid post Christmas depression on Sunday, driving back home here to the house. Cause I'm like, damn it. I'm like, okay. And then I got in the chat, right? I'm like, okay, ToyCon in 2 weeks, NJCC, March. I'm like, when is the next event? Because I'd really been looking forward to it. And, yeah, it came and went so quickly. It's crazy.
Yeah. This winter's going to stink, man. Winter's going to stink.
I mean, you all should come down for MagFest. I'll tell you. It's a good time.
MagFest.
Music and Gaming Festival in DC.
Yeah.
Nice. I gotta start putting all these shits like in my calendar and just to try to see what's doable, what's not. You know,
right?
Well, and like Dom said, I mean, like Gary said, and it was cool. Like we did get to have like a lot of one-on-one time. Like, you know, his wife, she specifically said, like, I wasn't going to let this be, you know, the guys go off in their corner, the girls go off in their corner. Like she wanted to make sure we all interacted. So she was hanging with us and kind of getting and hanging out and conversating. And it was pretty awesome. Like I loved it. And the thing was, it was like my girlfriend's concern. She had that concern that there might be awkwardness, or you might not know what to talk about, or you know, you don't know what to say. And absolutely none of that. Like everybody just gelled. Everybody had a good time. Everybody was laughing and joking. You know, the girls kind of ganging up on the guys, like, you know, dealing with our bullshit in regards to like our collection, as I said. And they could definitely bond over that. and I'm just glad that you know, what they did, you know, strategic or not, you know, I think that was like a good thing for all of us there, just to have a good time and chill with each other, but also good for all of like our wives to connect and have a good time, because it shows them like maybe they're looking from a distance, they don't understand what's going on with us and what we do, but at an event like that, basically brings them in and brings them closer to this. And now they could leave an event like that. And like Gary said, Christina was like, hey, we live over here. We could always do this and do that. And shout out to Jisk. Last year when we were vacationing in Florida, we got to visit him, got to meet his wife and his kids. And my girlfriend was like, hey, if they ever come to New York, they could stay with us and blah, blah, blah. And it's always good to have those good, nice connections like that. And that's what it was. It really felt like a family event.
Yeah.
Saturday went. So.
And it fell together so quickly.
Yeah.
It didn't take more than 15 minutes before everybody was laughing and joking and stuffing something in their mouth, and I was pouring drinks for people, and to go back at what I started to say, and I lost track with Eric, right? The thing is, Eric told me something funny. The first time I picked him up to go to that Toy Con where we first met Gary, it was the first time I met Eric. And he had to tell his wife, yeah, this dude from that show I watch is coming to pick me up. And she's like, wait, you never met him before? And he's like, no. She's like, you never talked to him before? She's like, no, we only text on Messenger, but he's coming to pick me up and drive me to Jersey. She goes, wait. So some dude you never met is coming to pick you up, drive you to Jersey to meet a bunch of other guys you never met, to hang out for the whole day? And she's like, yeah. So I'm sure that more than one of our significant others have thought that at one time or another. Like, yo, where are they going? And I thought like maybe this party was gonna be like the same way for one point. So I hid most of my toys because I thought like maybe we were all gonna be in the corner fussing with toys, and they were gonna be looking at us from the other end like, what the fuck are we doing
here?
Nerds.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that at all, man. It just turned out so dope. Dom, man, you were there. I mean, what was your idea of it all?
Yeah.
It could have been a success or a complete failure, but it was amazing how like the women just started conversation with themselves and just having a good time. I my wife is pretty open and she can chat with anyone, and I think just that card ride up, me and Jose, we were talking, we were mentioning things, and they were conversating, and I think that kind of broke the ice a little bit with those two, and then just going right into Dave's house, and just which, by the way, very beautiful house that Dave has, and just beautiful things that he did to the house, and amazing, great work, Dave, and and then like all of a sudden, like all the wives just started talking. They just had so much in common, and they didn't know that they have all this in common because of us. We're collectors at heart, and just them dealing with the aches and pains and all the stuff that they go through supporting our collecting habits. They had that in common, so they just were talking about it. I think one time I was like, Dave, this is not a good idea, Dave. Because they're just one-offing each other, like, this is what my husband does, or this is what my like, oh, fuck this shit.
Getting us all in the doghouse.
I'm going to the backyard. But like, it was great. The food was amazing. The drinks were amazing, so everything was great. Dave showed us his soon-to-be collection room, which I envy, because he has a lot of space in that room that can do a lot of good stuff. So he showed us his exclusive Christmas tree ornaments. If you want to see that picture, I was holding up one of those awesome exclusive Christmas balls that he's gotten over the past years. So it was amazing to see that exclusive fig balls there. But everything else was great. Like it went by so fast, and my wife had a great time. She really enjoyed everybody. She thought everybody was super nice, and actually just understands a little bit more about how, I'm involved in the group, and, why I'm involved, and, and sharing stories, and just, enjoying a community that has the same interest as you do. So.
Yeah. So same here.
But everything went well. Dave showed us, some other little cool things that he showed us was his crawl spaces filled with boxes. Hide him in the back of his future baby playroom that he's making. But he has a couple crawl spaces where, he has some fans' toys and all that good stuff hiding in the back corner. So I know where they are, Dave.
Yeah. Dom came downstairs yelling at his wife. He has crawl spaces. I need crawl spaces.
Like you hear the fans always coming from a crawl space. What was that?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
On the ride home, I stopped at. Yeah, at the ride home, I stopped at Home Depot to give her a shovel so she could dig me some crawl spaces. But it was great. It was great. It was a great time. Food was delicious. Dave did a great job in catering to us and making it very welcome. And I'd love to do it again. Definitely with whenever whoever decides, I'm definitely. I know we talk next year. You're more than happy to come to my place and hang out with your wives again. And do some cool stuff, or take you out to a couple of good restaurants around here, and then come back to the house and hang out. So
nice.
Well,
nice.
what I was trying to do, I mean, honestly, is start like a trend. I mean, people have done it before me. Bobby does that big thing for us every year. You know what I mean? He doesn't do that for him. He does that for us.
Mhm.
Chris does things. He posts. He's setting up. Something for the guys to come to his house, and Dust has invited us over and welcomed us to his home. So hopefully it's a trend that just keeps on trickling. It doesn't have to be a fucking con in order for us to get together.
But you guys do need to come up with a name for your get together. To brand it.
Just call it Rockouts, man.
Yeah. There you go. Nice. There you go. And again, like Dave, in the same vein, it's like the same thing that Extra Zero's doing with his get-togethers. It's just getting the community together. Everybody can hang out. You don't need that excuse of a big event to hang out. If everybody's relatively close together, just somebody step up and make it happen. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But with all due respect, Dave, I think you took it. With you introducing our wives and bringing our wives into the picture and having our wives or girlfriends hang out together. I think that type of hangout or get together is essential, because I think our wives or our girlfriends who see this, they see it with the blinders on. They only see us doing it, and then all of a sudden when they actually see other people involved and similar to what their husbands are doing or boyfriends are doing, I think they're actually open to the whole realm of collecting and what we're interested in. So, I got to give you kudos though, Dave, for that, because it getting our wives all together was, I think, a great thing, because
it was a stroke of fucking genius.
That's the mastermind. That's the mastermind. But again, people have done this before me. I'm just learning. You know what I mean? There's people in this community I look up to, I admire, and I'm just trying to keep the tradition alive. Keeping it like true family. It doesn't just mean that we are family. It's an extension of us when we get our kids and our wives and everybody else involved. So I think, good things to come too. Hopefully this start of something we do on the regular.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's fucking awesome. And it was cool too, because when we got to your crib, EE Prime was already there. But me, Dom and our girls arrived, and then it was just like in succession. Like 5 minutes later, I think I felt like Gary showed up, and then like a couple of minutes later, Ian showed up. And you know what? Shout out to Ian. He actually showed up in full costume. He was dressed up as like a Grim Reaper. I'm the one that answered the door, and I wasn't even sure who I was letting into Dave's house. But I'm like, if you're knocking, I guess you're supposed to be here. And
he wasn't talking either. He just kept walking and looking at everybody, like not saying a word. That was great. Shit. So that's a good segment to roll into Halloween with, I think. Ian being dressed up and stuff. So
for sure. For sure. Like and that was pretty awesome. Like, what I'm saying? It's cool that he dressed up. His costume was pretty cool. It was awesome to meet his girlfriend as well. You know what I'm saying? And dude, that's what it's all about. So let's get this stuff going. You know what I'm saying? More meetups, more hookups. And it's always good times when we get together, guys. That's what we always stress. It's always good times.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
When is it often you sit down with Grim Reaper and have a drink, and know that you're actually going to walk out?
Once in a lifetime, man.
Dave, my only regret from Saturday was like we all were having such a good time. I didn't get to take enough pictures of like the spread and everything that was going on there. Like I got a few, and when I posted it on the R.O.C Facebook group, but I wish I would have took more pictures of what was going on there, because you had the little thing. Not all of us dressed up, so you actually had some things for us to wear, for the ladies, for the guys, and it was pretty awesome just how you put all that together, man. So once again, just thank you.
You're very welcome. Very welcome, all of you guys.
All right, guys. So
Jose, I took plenty of pictures.
You took?
I took plenty of pictures.
Oh, yeah.
From outside.
That's scary.
All right, guys. So, like Dave said, let's just roll into the next topic. It's Halloween. So let's just talk about, all of our experiences like throughout the years, our favorite memories, our costumes, favorite movies, favorite candy, et cetera, et cetera. Like, what does Halloween mean to each of you guys? Do you celebrate? Do you give a shit? So it was cool last night when they were talking about Enter the Realm, like some of the costumes that were like available to us back in the day, not as good as some of the stuff that's available out there. And shout out to all the cosplayers out there that just put some incredible fucking things together. Bob, seeing pictures from Bobby's party over the past weekend, Joe KW and his girlfriend, awesome freaking costumes that they had.
Mm-hmm.
And shout out to Phil. He dressed up as Beetlejuice. He fucking looked pretty dope. So what does Halloween mean to the rest of you guys? If you dress up, any kind of favorite childhood memories you want to share, run down the panel. Anybody wants to share, go ahead.
I mean, I'll jump in. Yeah, I mean, everybody probably saw mine in the beginning. I recycled the Mr. Poopy Butthole costume from the Rickmobile and from Awesome Con. My Star-Lord costume, I only had half of it, and it was fun. I really like dressing up. Every year I try to go all out. Last year I did a full-on Kylo Ren costume, and that was fun to put together. And a little bit before that, I did like a full-on stealth suit Captain America. So I really like getting into it. I like going and having a good time. I like using my, an excuse to wear costumes multiple times, like cons and all. And, I've always loved it since I was a kid. Probably my favorite costume I had when I was a kid was my mom and I worked on one together, and it was a scorpion costume. Not Mortal Kombat scorpion, like the actual insect scorpion. It had like a working tail and claws and everything.
Oh, nice!
Like from Spider-Man.
No, not like Spider-Man, not like Mortal Kombat. Just like the actual insect scorpion. For whatever reason, nice. I was 8 and I was like, I want to be a scorpion. So we worked on this fucking thing in like September, and just kept putting it all together. Like we got like a fishing wire that was attached to like one of the claws, so I could like do that, and it would strike forward. And I like the creativity. I like seeing what people come up with. It's kind of like this community. It just kind of shows that there's layers to people you wouldn't expect. It shows our interests. It's a reflection of us in a lot of ways. And that's the one thing I really love about Halloween, other than the candy. Fuck candy corn.
Yeah. Get that nasty shit out of here.
This candy corn has been in the same candy corn has been in circulation since 1976. I believe it.
Shit is delicious.
It's great that any corporation that makes that could just produce that same shit and make their money off of it. Like they'll sweat off their back. Like, hey,
but they got Valentine's Day corn now. I was in Walmart last year. I was like, what is this? Like how you break up with a girl?
Yeah.
Back of that shit, like, here, I'm done with you. But dude, that's pretty cool. Like, have you ever like missed any years? Like you said, you've enjoyed dressing up as a kid. You do it now. Like, have you done it every year? Or,
I've done it mostly every year, and I guess one of the things I did kind of miss it in like my later teens. But my buddy Nick one year he got tired of missing Halloween, so we set up his house as kind of like a haunted house. And actually, I do have a funny story I'll tell real quick, because we set up this fucking elaborate thing where we had like this skeleton on a noose, and like in order for the kids to he sat there like kind of like looking like the crypt keeper almost, and was like kind of like taunting the kids. And then I was up on the roof with like a pulley and a rope and like the big thing of candy. So the kids would come to the house and they'd go up to the front. We would drop the body down behind him, and he'd start to laugh. And they'd turn around and they would have to get the candy out of the skeleton, out of the body. And then like the moment,
awesome.
like some of the kids, they'd start pulling the candy out, and I'd like give a little tension on the body, and it would come up. And my buddy Troy was like under a car, and he had like this prosthetic arm, like not like he had a real prosthetic arm, but basically he was like going like help me and like holding the arm out, and like one little kid like went and pulled it. Like he like when we had like real little kids, we'd stop, but like one little kid like went to go help him and pulled the arm right off, and the blood went everywhere. he just like held the arm like in that scene in Saving Private Ryan, and like looked at his mom and looked at the arm and looked at him and looked at the arm again, and just fucking screamed bloody murder. So we had fun like doing this haunted house for a few years, and then like when I got into my mid-20s, that's like when I started going to parties and doing elaborate costumes, and go and then be like, oh yeah, I can do this for Halloween, and I can take it to a con. And as I've gotten older, it's more cons, more costumes, and it's a lot of fun.
Nice, man. Anybody else?
It's not.
I always have fun with Halloween.
Yeah, it's not my most favorite holiday. I mean,
yeah, I didn't celebrate in too much time either. It was the last time I really dressed up was on a Halloween birthday party for a friend of mine. I dressed up as a Punisher, like really with greasy hair and the long coat and the shirt with the Thomas Jane skull on it, and it was really cool. We had a little photo shoot together with another buddy I have. He was dressed up as Wolverine, and normally he has a beard already, pretty much like Wolverine. And a few photos of that is on my Facebook profile. You can look it up. So that was the last time I really pretty much dressed up. Today only also was 2 times when the doorbell rang. So I don't know how much it is celebrated like in my vicinity here. Maybe same like what Dave was saying in New York directly, or something like that. Yeah, and I think the best costume I probably had was the one my mother made for me when I was, I don't know, like 12 or something like that, 10, 11, 12. The prototypical ninja, like always, with nunchucks made by myself, with chains and done out of tightly rolled newspaper. That shit was really hard. I think I could have busted someone over with those. So, yeah, that was that. I don't know. Halloween movie? I don't think I really have a Halloween movie, but the most spooky, most scary thing for me that ever happened around Halloween time, way before the time when it was popular over here, was when I was around 8 years old. My parents and I were at my uncle and aunt's, and they were watching The Terminator, and it was already past the time when he operated on his arm and eye, and I was watching that, so I had seen him pulling his eye out and everything. And then the whole police shootout scene started, and that was when my father said, okay, it's time for your bed. Okay. We had a bunk bed over there, and I was sleeping at the lower one with the view directly out of the window, and I saw a counter of the house, one of the neighbor house, and there was this chain of lights that was going from the right to the left, and I swear you, I kid you not, every single fucking light bulb on that chain of lights was broken, except for one red one in the corner.
Oh no!
Oh shit!
So you thought you saw the Terminator?
I shit my pants, man. I kid you not. It was intense, really. I was like, oh, what the fuck does he want to do with me? Oh, please. I was livid, man. I was so through with it. Heavy shit. It really happened. I kid you not. So that was the most spooky thing that ever happened to me. When I was that age, I was traumatized by the movie. now I'm fascinated by it.
Oh, it's great, man.
So-
Great Falcon film. Love it.
Mhm.
All right, I'm going to jump in. Halloween is one of my favorite holidays since I was a kid, still to this day. Um, I dressed up every year. Um, if it was something elaborate or something just very simple, like this year was a simple costume because of my schedule, I was so busy. But every year I would decorate my house. We do haunted house. We do like a last year theme was like a twisted carnival, and I had a party. I was a zombie ring. No, I was a clown ringmaster, evil clown ringmaster last year, and then we did the. This is the second year we did a carnival. So the year before that, I was the zombie ringmaster.
Nice.
But when I was back in New York, when I was a kid, I loved trick or treating, loved the candy, loved the parties. When I was younger, I wasn't able to do much when I was a kid, but when I was a teenager and older, we was able to do a lot more. Like for instance, like when we would go into the village for the Halloween parade, in the city, I love doing that.
Oh yeah,
And
that's always a good time.
yeah, a lot of fun for that. Oh, then back in the '90s, when I was in college working for FIT, Fashion Institute of Technology, we used to partner up with Madison Square Garden, and I'm not sure if you guys remember, whoever from New York, Madison Square Garden had an event called Madison Scare Garden,
Mhm.
when
Yes,
when it turned into the whole haunted area interactive shit. Yeah, so I used to work there for that every year when they used to do that shit, and that was a lot of fun. And I do theme parties and with my friends. Like when I was back again, New York again, we did like 70s horror fest kind of theme Christmas. So like you had to take your 70 theme character and mix it with a monster. So I was like a John Travolta Saturday Night Live boogeyman. My friend was a coked up werewolf. Another person was a pimp Frankenstein, and his wife was a whore, Bride of Frankenstein whore and stuff like that. So we do a lot of different things. Also, we did another Halloween. We did Cartoon Network theme Halloween, and we did 80s theme Halloween, 90s theme Halloween. Just so many things.
Yo, D, I gotta ask you, what's a coked up werewolf like?
Right.
He was a werewolf with a pinch like a linen striped suit or whatever, and he had like white powder all over his he looked like he had white powder on his fur, on his nose, and he had a whole bunch of he had a bag of flour in a Ziploc bag, like holding keys and stuff like that, just snorting everywhere. Like he act like and Timothy was his name, and he was Italian, and he was sounding like Tony Montoya from Scarface. So he was like a Scarface coked up werewolf type character, and it was fucking hilarious.
That's awesome.
So like we do like twisted Halloween. So like one of my favorite costumes was in '97 and '98 when I was the Super Beast from Rob Zombie's Super Beast video.
Cool.
Dressed up as that. And my scariest Halloween was back in either '92 or '93 in Canarsie. I was thinking junior high at the time, either seventh or eighth grade. I was going to a group of my friends leaving a Halloween party, and it was your typical eerie Halloween night. Foggy night, balmy, creepy, and everything. And there's this weird dude, I shit you not. There's this dude every Halloween will come around. There is the Seaview Avenue area where there's a graveyard, a cemetery. There's this dude who dressed up like Casey Jones slash Jason with rollerblades, and he chases the kids every year with a creepy hockey mask, where all his gear looking like a demonic Jason or Casey Jones, and chase you all over the fucking block. So we were trying to catch the B-17 bus. This is 9 p.m. waiting. We have our costume. It was all good and chilling and everything. This dude comes out of the fucking fog from the fog out of the cemetery. Hockey mask, stick and everything. We're running You know, every man for himself at this time. I lost my friends, have no idea where they were. This guy is stalking us. I'm seeing the bus. The bus is coming 2 blocks down. I'm trying to hide and wait for the bus to come, but I have to make it to the stop because if you know how they are here in New York, if there's nobody at night at the stop side, the bus stop, the bus will keep going. They'll just keep going. So the bus is coming. The guy's skating by. So I'm running. So I'm running for the bus because the bus sees me. He actually stops. So I'm going. My other friends didn't catch the bus. So I caught it. The guy was like hitting the bus with his hockey stick, trying to chase it down and everything. And the bus drove off. It was terrified.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but that was one of my best and scariest Halloween moment ever, you know, and it was so great. So yeah, I love Halloween. Halloween is one of my favorite holidays, and I wish I did something more this year, but this year it's just the time constraint wasn't doable. But next year I'm ready. I got a lot of plans for next year. Big party. So I'm gonna send out invites for everybody to come out to my place to have a big old Halloween party. So you guys are invited. So next year.
Nice.
Nice.
I used to go nuts for when I first bought my house. I used to go nuts. We would have a huge ass party, like live music. You know, I know a bunch of people that are in bands and stuff like that, as we all probably do. But we'd have live music and all that kind of stuff. But I you know, last couple of years I have kind of slacked off. I mean, I've made some costumes and stuff like that, but I pretty much would just leave my house decorated for Halloween all year round. I mean, that's how much I enjoy it.
You were that house.
Hey, it's better to be the Christmas.
Hey, if you stand outside in front of my house, it's pretty fucking creepy looking. Because I mean, this place was built. Yeah, this place was built in like 1888, so it's like old brick.
See, that just makes me think of that line in Step Brothers about General Custer's ghost.
So nice, man. You used to do like parties with music and shit. So you used to like have a DJ come through and just have a bunch of people over.
Oh no! I'd have like bands, like live music, like bands.
Oh, nice! Wow, that's fucking dope.
So, like my brother's band would play. My buddy Jim, whoever else we could find that wanted to play. But we'd, you know, just have this nice big party and just, you know, get a whatever half keg or whatever and just charge people. I mean, I don't drink, but I would, you know, have refreshments and all that kind of shit ready and just whatever, $5 at the door. Come on in.
Oh, there you go. Nice. So this is business. It was like a business opportunity for you.
Kind of.
I did the same thing too at my parties, man. Yeah, my friends pay for the food, pay for the booze.
Yeah, I mean, it's the least that anybody can do. If, you know, I'm providing like everything, food and booze and all that shit.
No, that's cool, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yo, what about when you were like younger? Did you do the whole dress up game and shit? Go trick or treating door to door?
Yeah. Whenever I got a little older, like in my teenage years, we still went out for Halloween. But we were those assholes that were like
throwing eggs and shit. Like we had to fucking
shooting people with BB guns and shit. We were little heathens.
Yeah, I think me and Dave fucking know we had to go through back in the day. Like Halloween was dangerous for us fucking here in the city. You know, fucking stay off the streets and fucking, you know, avoid getting pelted with eggs or something worse.
Yep.
Yeah. I have a story like that. I'll try to keep my story as fucking as quick as possible. So, like Jose said, like, you know, my everybody knows my dad's a retired detective. So my dad was like really strict. He wouldn't let me do shit. Explains why I'm a pothead to this day. But anyways, you know, they wouldn't let me go out. But once you turn a certain age, I think I was like 14. I just did whatever I wanted. And the local crew around the corner, they used to always, you know, go egging together. And basically, it was all like by blocks. So maybe there was 15, 20 kids per block. And we used to all meet up between like maybe a 5 or 6 block radius. So now you're talking like 50 kids that all decided, if you've ever seen the movie Dead Presidents, where your face is all white and then the eyes are blacked out.
Yep.
We all did that. So now we look scary. We look like a bunch of purging animals. And basically that's what it was like. So, we would all go out egging, people would do dumb shit, break car windows, take kids candy, rob kids for whatever. Those were, it was honestly like that. It got so crazy this one night that we went from one neighborhood to the other. We had wars with like different groups of kids that we wound up. Some of the kids did something stupid. Like I said, they think they robbed somebody. So now those kids must have called the cops. So now we're like getting back towards our stomping grounds because we went all over the whole, I would say a 2-mile radius back and forth. Now we're getting back, we're like 3 or 4 blocks away from, the stomping grounds, and paddy wagons pulling up everywhere, every corner. I'm like, oh, fuck. People are scattering, running. There's a pizzeria open on the corner. So I just said, fuck it. I'm going to go inside. I went to the pizzeria, I ordered a slice of pizza. I said, can I use your bathroom, please? The guy goes, yeah, go ahead. I order a slice of pizza, get my soda. I go into the bathroom. I wash all the fucking face paint off my face. All of it. All of it. I make sure I'm good. I get the slice of pizza. I start walking to the corner. I see a bunch of my buddies all lined up against the wall getting arrested. And I'm just sitting there eating my pizza. I'm like, damn,
the show.
like fuck, and like the cops give me a glare and they see the kid, see a kid eating pizza. They're not thinking twice. Oh, he's not with them. His face ain't painted, So then I keep walking. I eventually meet up with some of the kids that got away. They're like, yo, how the fuck did you get away? I said, I washed the face paint off, man. What do you think? I had a bunch of my boys that they was all different age groups, but specifically kids that were my age. They all got bagged. And they weren't allowed out for weeks after that. And it was just shit, you should have just stuck with me and went to the pizzeria. But,
Could have had pizza.
Yeah.
Dude,
but
not for nothing, but running from the cops was always fun.
Well, Halloween is the best day to do it. Everybody got a fucking mask on. So that you want to do some bad shit, that's the day to fucking do it.
Yep.
I saw them out here extra heavy today on my walk home from work. And I mentioned to the guys last night, in the hangout after ETR, usually I walk home from work and I'm like, wait, the neighborhood I walk through, they're really not the best. And I was like, I should maybe think twice about doing that on Halloween, but no issues. I saw some kids trick or treating and it was all good. So
I think everybody's so paranoid these days that they're kind of, because if people not worried about, what's out there, the other side of it's worried about, oh shit, there's gonna be cops everywhere.
Yeah, and they were out here in full force. I couldn't walk a block and there was another fucking squad car that was passing by. So they upped the presence for Halloween and shit. My memories of Halloween, not super memorable, almost the same as everybody else. We had those cheap plastic fucking costumes back in the 80s, so I always dressed up as either Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, Hulk. And then I got really into horror and used to watch those movies on the day as a kid, regardless rated R or not, didn't fucking matter in my house. So always enjoyed that stuff. So for a few years dressed up as Jason and Freddy, because those were always kind of the costumes that were available. But for me, the best thing about Halloween that I can remember is I used to work in a comic store / hobby shop back in the 90s. So my old boss, we always used to decorate the shop for October, with props and body parts, and he always wanted to make it look as disgusting as possible. So, we got torsos and legs and heads and all these limbs just hanging from our awning and the storefront and stuff. And he used to have an electric chair set up inside the shop with a dummy in there. So the coolest thing though was when Halloween day actually rolled around, he replaced the dummy with an actual person, and the dummy had a sign that said don't touch the dummy. So when the kids were coming in for the comic books or candy or whatever it was that we were giving away that year, of course the dummy's always and the kids would either run out screaming or just be laughing and having a good time. So some of those years we used to take count of how many kids we actually made cry and had them running from the store.
That's awesome.
It was always funny, and we always did things like that for like the different seasons. So like Halloween and Christmas, I used to sit outside dressed up as Santa Claus, ho ho ho, and all the kids in the neighborhood used to come by and take pictures. And the same thing on Halloween, they used to come by for their free comics or free candy, and take a picture with the dummy, and it was always a good time. So those are my best memories from Halloween. As I moved into adulthood and started working at the hospital and stuff, like it just used to turn out that a lot of my shifts always used to I used to have to work on the holiday or Halloween, and never really like had the time for parties or did anything like that. So hopefully I'm looking to change that in the future, more into the spirit of it.
Awesome.
Yeah. Anybody else want to share? Anybody else got any stories?
I'll chime in. My favorite costume that I ever did, I remember as a kid, I think it was the Domino Noid. The Noid.
Yeah. Dude,
That's awesome.
So
I actually found like a great, like they had the actual mask in a shop, and I bought the mask and dressed all in red and put I think it was an N on his chest, and just basically walked around school, and I think we did a parade that year too and stuff like that.
Did you ruin anyone's pizza?
No. I remember just running around the halls acting silly and shit. But and my favorite candy is Reese's Pieces Buttercups. I can't get enough of those.
Oh God, yeah.
I got a lot left over, Dom. I'll bring
I
them.
know. Don't bring them. Don't
Throw
bring
them
them.
in the freezer.
Put
That's
them
the way
in a
to
bag. That'd be a great snack for watching the movie.
There you go.
Yeah, I got
But
tons leftover candy, man. I overbought this year, man. Shit. Weed and candy, not a good combo.
No, it's not. Shout out to the Rock Challenge.
off of
Gary,
David.
gonna be calling you tonight, man, to calm me down, to talk me down, Gary.
Talk me down.
Yo,
Don't do it.
I
got all
didn't.
these sweet I don't know what to do. I got you Snickers, Gary. The Snickers are calling me about the shakes.
But like from Dave's thing, like Mischief's Night was very popular around where I lived. So we did everything, and as we got older, we did just try to beat ourselves from what we did last year. I think one year we started, as we got older and got bigger, we started bringing like swing sets from backyards and put them in the front yard. That's some of the stuff that we did.
That's funny
shit. And
I like that shit.
We would take like because I was on a football team in high school, so we would take cars that were parked vertically in driveways and turn them horizontally.
Yes.
So like when you wake up in the morning, you see your car horizontally on your driveway instead of vertically. Stuff like that. We would toilet paper houses. Put like bars, like scribble bars of soap on windows on cars and shit. Do stupid crap like that, and it was just funny. Like big egg fights. We would always have like rival people in other like sides of town where we would all meet up at a park and just have a big ass egg fight, shaving cream fight, and stuff like that.
But people were like stupid when we were growing up. Like I remember kids that used to freeze the eggs.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
They were like rocks, or they wouldn't throw shaving cream. It was Nair. That stuff that women used to take their hair.
Yeah. Speaking of eggs, did you guys ever do osmosis eggs with like you soak the egg in vinegar?
Oh no.
And it gets like it
Rubbery,
soaks up all the
yeah.
We would do those and like leave one in that like neighbors we hated's mailboxes.
Yep.
Overnight, so like
guys are hardcore.
we would shaving cream people's mailboxes, like fill it up with shaving cream, so when they go in, shit like that. I think there was times where we would we would just put peanut butter underneath your your car handle, so when you open up your car, you got like peanut butter on your handle.
You guys were sweet. We used to put shit under people's fucking
God damn. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, New York and Halloween is horrible in the 80s.
It's still bad.
Oh, dude.
I'm worried about my shit now. Like I'm a homeowner now. I like looking out the window every 5 minutes. I'm ready to fucking kill somebody.
Nah, but D, seriously, like your area, like that, it looks fine. It's clean, quiet. Like you know, I wouldn't expect any riffraff, but where I'm fucking at, shit, I'm surprised you don't fucking hear sirens right now. You know?
And then eventually, as you get older, we had our license, and my friend used to have like a big Astro van that had like a sliding door. So we would drive up on people that we would just like know and just pounce them with freaking eggs and shit and just like you know, they'd be like, ah, fuck no, then like open the door, just three of us there like throwing eggs and just ramping on them. But it was fun. It was fun.
That's fucking awesome, man. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, Mission Night was very, very, very popular around where I lived.
Nice. All right. Well, we're getting close to the 90-minute mark, so I think we could start wrapping up. As always, guys, we do continue unbroadcasted. We do have a full room right now, but we're going to throw the link out there if anybody drops out. Anybody who wants to hop in on this conversation that we're all having, please feel free. Brian, were you keeping track of the chat tonight? Please tell me you were.
I was.
Sweet. Shout them out.
All right. We have Alexandra D was in there. Chat winging them. Crimacon and Sunday Heat.
I hope you guys all
our toys and stuff.
Woo!
And see, Retro Now and Paul L and The Vendetta and Ralph L and Matt M and J.R. Link, Lord Shadowkeeper, who thinks we're all broadcasting from Puerto Rico right now.
That's funny, bro.
I love the sense of humor despite all the hardship, man. That's fucking awesome.
We had Sean S., The Forgotten Path, and KJ. That's all. Thanks for hanging out in the chat, guys.
Yes, thank you guys. As always, it's always appreciated, all the participation, and we thank you. So we're going to run down the panel, say our goodbyes, tell us where you're at. So first up.
First up. Is that me?
Yes, you're first.
You're
first. I'm sorry if I blanked.
Yeah, you were cut off.
Oh, yeah, you can find me in the Facebook groups as Brian Brinken at Brinkalizer on Instagram.
That's right. Next up, Energon.
Oh wait, where's my Chewy mask? You guys know where to find me. Energon Addict on Instagram. Here on Tuesdays. Catch me on Facebook. And that's about it. So see you soon.
All right, and Dave, thanks again for hosting us this weekend, man. Fucking good times.
Very
good
welcome.
Time. All right, next up, Nicholas. Are you still with us, Nicholas? He's got the mute on, so he probably stepped away. All right, next up, Extra Zero.
All right, so Extra Zero, you can find me on the Facebook groups under James Jordan. Additionally, you can find me on Twitter at The Original Zero. Still working on that new Instagram. I'll get that done. Work's been hell. Ooh, it's been cool. Anyway, yeah. Thanks for joining us tonight. Thanks for having us. Always a lot of fun, gentlemen. So, yeah, looking forward to seeing everybody next Tuesday.
Dope.
Awesome. All right, G Money.
Yeah, I'm in the Facebook groups. Just Gary Allen. Message me if you have any questions about the wellness and weight loss challenge, and I will continue to be here on Tuesday nights hanging out with you guys.
Awesome. Looking forward to those teasers every single week leading up to this challenge, man. Looking forward to it. Let's do it. Next up, H&H.
Thank you once.
Flop.
You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook, and you can see me and find me lurking in the R.O.C groups, and anywhere you see a Hasbro product with waffles, just think of me.
There's a Rock Spotlight episode that just dropped.
Oh
with
yes.
That is right.
That's right. I am the first recipient of the Rock Spotlight. Thank you very much. You can find that on the ROC podcast page. And just download it and watch it and listen to it and enjoy it. I had one of my classic Agent H rants on that one. So enjoy it.
Yep.
Nice.
You guys could download and listen to that spotlight on iTunes and Google Play. And I believe Dust is also going to be putting that up on the Realm of Collectors YouTube channel. So it was a sweet listen, bro. And thank you for that.
No problem.
Next up, JD.
Shout out to Long. Goodbyes. Anyway, you can find me, JD Burgess, in the Facebook groups. Pigment Surgery on Instagram. Tuesday nights here with those. And tomorrow night, all new, brand new, spanking new, Figure Banging.
Oh yeah, new episode of Figure Bang, and I feel bad for you guys already. I know what's going to be on. I know what the mystery figure is.
Yeah, you do? Oh man,
ooh, I feel your pain.
That's all right.
Okay.
Plenty of material.
And that's tomorrow night.
Yeah, baby.
All right, Tim K.
Yeah. Tim K on the Facebook groups and Figure Photography Crate on Instagrams, and mostly every other Tuesday here with those fine gentlemen. Have a good day.
Sweet, man. Thank you for being here tonight.
Anytime. Thanks for having me. Looking forward to the next one.
All right. And as for myself, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Xbox Live, and the PlayStation Network, all over social media at HurricaneBX, as you see right there below. And you could catch me with the rest of these fine gentlemen every single Tuesday night hosting the ROC Hangout, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for all you jackals out there. Guys, join us on Facebook, where there is a group, Realm of Collectors. You can find us on Instagram at Realm of Collectors and on Twitter at Enter the R.O.C. Please remember to check out our website, realmofcollectors.com. All the latest merchandise available, shot glasses, the Friends and Family t-shirt, and pre-orders for the ROC hoodies are live. Check out the newly revamped website at realmofcollectors.com. And don't forget to send your what's in the fucking box and shelf life videos to Enter the Realmcast at gmail.com. And don't forget to pull up a chair to the cool table. It's a network for like-minded podcasts, including our flagship show, Enter the Realm, Shattercast Uncut, Toy Detox, Plastic Fanatics, Nerd Rage Radio, Figure Banging, Beer and Bolters 40K, 8 Weeks, Stasis Lock, and a whole lot more. You can find the cool table on on Facebook and pretty much throughout all social media. So, guys, we are the ROC. We're not going anywhere. So get to know us. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. Love and relax, guys. Happy Halloween.
Swallow your soul. Swallow your soul.